What's up, family? Thank you guys for tuning in. Today we were able to interview a guest, Chris McMiller, an aspiring actor. We hope you enjoy.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe under the video. Peace.
Peace. What's up, family? This is the Playmaker Podcast, episode 40. I'm your host, Reggie Coleman.
I'm your co-host, Nikita Monroe Thomas.
And today we have a guest who we're going to interview, Mr. Chris McMiller. We want to welcome you to the show. Appreciate you for coming.
Sure.
So tell the people a little about yourself, your background, where you're from, all that good stuff.
So once he said, I'm Chris McMiller. Born and raised in Youre. I've always was trying to get myself into a couple of things, basketball. Went to school. Went to Parkway, went to Fisher, and went to Youre High. Left Youre High at 16, and went into like a JROTC program. And from there, I graduated with my high school diploma at 16, and then came back home and tried to get into a couple of things from home. But that's kind of when I drifted off and didn't find myself going down the right path. But quickly turned that around.
That's all that matters.
For sure. And then quickly turn that around and then try to get into a little bit of acting, being around celebrities and just trying to gain something from them. So that's where I'm at right now.
So I'm hearing you learned a lot of lessons growing up. You're from the area, so there's a lot of negative that goes on that you can get sucked into so easily. So what do you think helped you stay away from the violence, the negative energy? What do you think helped you in that sense?
It was more of my parents, honestly. A lot of people now, at least now in today's age, a lot of people don't listen to their parents. It's crazy. It's sad to say, but
like a cheat code.
Yeah, honestly, because you think they don't have the answer. They don't have the answer. But then when you're actually in the situation and it's like, yo, my parents told me that. You know what I mean? So really, it's a matter of listening to my dad. My dad was more of the talker. My mom she kind of talked, but it was go to your dad. You know what I mean? But
that's how I was.
Yeah. But my dad, he was really in my corner. Both of my parents were, but my dad was really in my corner and kind of coached me and tried to tell me, what's right from wrong. Because my dad was raised in trans, so it was more of, I went through that. I had to go through this, and being able to see how successful both of my parents are. But especially my dad, seeing how successful he is, it's a matter of just taking what he taught me and using it for myself.
Correct.
So let's talk about acting, because you mentioned it, and celebrities. So what made you go into that route of trying to be an actor and meeting these celebrities that you have met, and you can mention if you want?
So really it was a matter of jumping from job to job. Me at a young age, like I said, I started working at, I want to say 14, 15. My first job was a fish factory. It was selling aquarium fish, clownfish, dories, and Nemos. So it was selling fish, and that was my hobby. I loved setting up aquariums. I loved setting up fish tanks, all that. And then after a while, I was going from the aquarium to I went to the mall. Went from Foot Locker to AT&T to Sprint to and then that's when I went over to a car salesman. Went to JNS right down in Olden. And then that's when I went to Mercedes. And I was like, yo, this is not working out. Like it wasn't a place where I was staying for at least 3 months. And then that's when it was kind of a rough patch in my life. And then that's when I went over to where did I go? I forgot where I went then. That's when I looked up being an extra into movies. And I kind of frown upon it because, being an actor, you think like, I want to start off as being, speaking role, just right off the bat. But after I was like, what, let me just see what it's like. Got my first extra role in a Jennifer Lopez movie. Met her. And met her, Alex Rodriguez, Owen Wilson, the guy that played Lightning McQueen, and just being look at them and say, you know what, they made it from being an extra as well, or even a singer like J-Lo was. You know, it was like, this is where I need to be, and especially being in that I was there for, I want to say 13 hours that one day. I was there and I loved it. And it was great. So from there, that's when I went from being an extra there. Kind of got casted into a couple of more things in New York, you know, such as TV shows. And then that's when, after, like, before all of that, I was working towards getting into Good Morning America, the morning show in the morning. And that's when everything started to kind of just, you know, flow. I've always said I wanted to work with Tyler Perry, always wanted to. I mean, I would say almost every African American would say that. But, you know, I always said I wanted to work with Tyler Perry. Got on Good Morning America, met Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, and then finally met Tyler Perry. And then so that kind of just, you know, flowed from there. And
what was that experience like, meeting those type of celebrities?
Will Smith, I mean, anybody that knows me can vouch for it. I grew up watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And, you know, being able to tell, like my best friend, you know, she asked me, she was like, yo, you know, what was this episode? What was this episode? And I tell her, you know, season this, you know, episode this, you know what I mean? And then especially the iconic episode where, you know, he cried to Uncle Phil and, you know, why you don't want me no more. You know, it was like, yo, I didn't go through that, but being able to just see how he feels, it makes it feel like you're right there, you know what I mean? So, you know, when I met him, it was like a dream come true. Like, I'm like, yo, I grew up watching you. And, you know, just like I said, you know, everybody knows that was my guy. Like, I love him. You know, I had probably a 20-minute conversation with him. And, you know, we talked about life. We talked about, you know, as far as becoming an actor and, you know, trying to get into more things. And then start from ground zero and trying to build your brand, you know what I mean? And then with Tyler Perry, you know, meeting him, it was real short, but it was so much knowledge in that one little conversation. You know, it was probably a 10-minute conversation with him, but you know, I learned so much from that one little conversation. And you know, it's like they really have the keys to success. You know, it's just a matter of listening to it. It's kind of like your parents. You know, they have the keys to success. It's a matter of just, you know, being able to open your ears and listening. You know what I mean?
And applying it to
real
life. Because they give out gems all the time. I watch a lot of interviews, especially since we started this podcast, just to get pointers and take notes on how to ask questions, how to piggyback off other people. So they always giving gems, especially Will Smith recently. Especially
his whole interview on the Breakfast Club was a gem.
Right.
Everything,
And on Sweat.
Everything he said, he was like, let me get a notepad. But like everything he said was awesome. I think I was 15 or 16 writing down quotes that he used to say. And I would try to apply it to my life. You know, it didn't always go as great as I thought it was going to go, but I tried to apply it to my life, you know what I mean? And it was just a matter of, like you said, just applying it, you know, and like I was always told, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth so you can listen twice as much as you talk, you know what I mean? My parents always tried to, like I said, my parents always tried to tell me that. So that's, like you said, just a matter of applying the quotes to your life.
So as an actor, what's been the, I guess, hardest moments of trying to get roles, or just the hardest part of being an actor, I guess?
I would have to say 2 things, honestly. Patience. Patience and being able to take a no.
Be okay with it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You know, patience, one, because it doesn't just happen overnight. You know what I mean?
Gotta climb that
For
ladder.
sure, you know, and then, like I said, what Will told me, a matter of building your brand, you know what I mean? Somebody's gonna look at you, you know, somebody like Tyler Perry, he'll look at you and say, you know what, he has no experience, but I'm gonna still take him under my wing and still be able to teach him and coach him, you know what I mean? But you come up to somebody like, you know, let's say Leonardo DiCaprio or somebody like that, they're gonna be like, you know, he has nothing behind him, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? So
it's more so what your body is.
and then your resume, you know. But I mean, just being able to take a no, and then patience. No, as far as that goes, that's like, I've had so many no's. Like honestly, if I show you my email, as far as people saying, you know, we don't want you here, we don't want you there, you know, we don't think that it's a best fit for you right now, but we could get you onto this next show. It's like, yo, you know, you get discouraged, of course. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's a a matter of just being able to keep that same energy. It's like, you know I'm here. You know what I mean? And it's like just building on from that. Just being able to, take that, just encouragement and build it into something else.
What I like is you take those no's and you don't shy away from being an actor. That I like to apply it to life. Like, people won't say no. Closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't ask for a role or an opportunity, sponsorship, partnerships, anything.
Exactly.
Like, I've been emailing people. They say no. That's cool.
Yeah.
The next person, I'm gonna go to the next person.
Correct.
And you gotta be able to take no's. And when you know something is your purpose, that no is not gonna deter you from what you try to do.
Correct.
So we always say that on the podcast. Like, people want to come on, some people don't. It is what it is.
Yeah.
The people that do, we appreciate y'all because you're sharing your story and we're sharing platform
For sure.
and building each other's brand. That's what we trying to do with you.
For sure.
And you're going to do for us when you post it and whatnot. So I just appreciate you again for coming on because
For sure.
you don't have to.
For sure. That's a matter of, like I've always told, as far as like my best friend goes, as far as my regular friends go, as far as my parents go, you're never too Hollywood for anybody, especially when you raised in the same town that they raised in, you're never too Hollywood for nobody. And they're always telling me, don't forget where you came from, don't forget, you never gotta tell me that. I ain't never gonna forget where I came from, you know what I mean?
Well,
Especially,
you can't,
for sure,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's the era we live in, born and raised, but you do evolve.
For sure, of course. You have to. It's a matter of being able to grow out of. You can't always stay stagnant. You know what I mean? You can't just stay in one place, and that's complacent. That's a matter of being complacent, and that's the problem now. Honestly, it's a lot of kids out here that's complacent. They fine with being in one place. As far as being taught that, okay, well, this is your gang, this your gang. Nah. Like, just, you gotta grow from that. You gotta be able to, think bigger, think of, out of the box. You know what I mean?
Correct, absolutely. Piggyback on acting, that's a tough genre or like thing to get into. At any point did it deter you from like, all right, yeah, it ain't, because like nowadays how these artists are with music, one hit and you on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily work like that in acting. How did you get the tough skin to be like, I know it's not gonna be overnight, but I'm gonna still push forward?
It's really being able to listen to my dad, my best friend, just being able to listen to him. Honestly, they always told me, you got the face for it. And even like Will said to me, he was like, you got the face, you got the attitude, this and that. We just got to get you in the screenplay. You know what I mean? That's what I get all the time.
I was thinking that. I
get that all the time. That's actually how I got into it. That's how I got into his room. They was like, yo, this man look like you. And then he was like, he yelled from down the hall. He was like, he must be handsome then. And then that's when he told me to come into the room. But yeah, I mean, it's really, that's something that you gotta have a tough skin for, honestly. Being able to act into, you got it's kind of, I think of it as like the NBA. Honestly, you got so many people that want to do it, but only a select few get the role or get this or get that, and it's a lot, honestly. Like Will, when the conversation that me and Will had, Uncle Phil didn't like Will's acting skills in the beginning. Until that episode where Will start crying and stuff like that, and people, you gotta, just understand that people not gonna like the way that you do this or do that, but it's a matter of, just understanding who you are and just keep pushing
and staying authentic. That's one thing I tell people every time we interview. As long as you're authentic with who you are, what you putting out, and you're not trying to, I guess, fake the funk for those people who want to see you do something a certain way.
Correct.
You're going to succeed. Now, it ain't going to be overnight, like we said, but eventually you'll push through that wall because there's so many people out here trying to be an actor, they have a bunch of podcasts out, artists. There's so many people that's doing it, but you got to find your niche. I never say that word right, but it's whatever. And push through because, listen, everybody not going to like what you do. Everybody not going to like the content you put out. But for those core fans or followers or listeners, that's who you gearing it to. And then they gonna share with their friends, and then that's how it evolves. With acting, how does that go, you think? You get roles, I'm sure you can obviously watch them on screen.
Of course.
But how does that work with like
building a fan base, I guess.
If I was a director, how would I be able to see your work, or would I have to be like, can you come do something on screen for me? Or,
that's really how it is.
That's
it's being able to, can you come do something on screen for me? Like Monday with me, I'm supposed to be going to Tyler Perry Studios on Monday to audition for a role, and like I said, I have footage of me being an extra and this and that, but they're not gonna be able to get who you are from that. You know what I mean? So it's being able to audition and, like you said, be authentic. Be original. You don't want to. I'm gonna act like this person. I'm gonna act like yourself. You know what I mean? That's you. It's cheaper being yourself. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it is. It's a matter of just being able to see who you are and just being able to talk to you and understand who you are.
That's very interesting because it's like if rappers and stuff like that, you can go on and listen to music and stuff like that. But I feel like as an actor, it's like you got to be on point. Like, okay, we want you to come in this day, and how are you able to have a real 9-to-5 job while pursuing a full-time acting career?
If it's a full-time acting career, I don't believe so. Honestly, no. Being an extra, yeah, because extras is like a part-time job. You get called for this, you get called for that. They'll pay you this and that. You got different types of. It's a lot of stipulations with being that. Because it's like you got the Actors Guild. You got so much that ties into that one thing. But being an extra, you could definitely have another job on the side. But being full time, if you actually gonna put yourself all into one thing, then I don't believe so. Honestly, I don't believe that you can have a full-time job while being an actor. It's just hard. You know what I mean? It's hard. Like even being an extra, like I remember I woke up at 3 or 4 in the morning and didn't get back till about 12 that night. So yeah, and it was, and that's just an extra. That's just somebody telling me be here in this camera, be here in this camera. We want you in this shot. That's just being that. No speaking, no nothing. So imagine what the actual actors got to go through, where it's like, I got to speak, I got to say this line so many times, I got to rehearse this, I got to do that, and it's like, so it's real hard. It gets difficult.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of hard work.
You look a little stressed.
I'm thinking like, everybody say I'm talented. You know what I'm saying? I thought I could rap that in. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I think a lot of people think like, oh, I can act. I could just act like I'm crying, but I don't think so. That's how you explaining it.
That's hard. I
done cried 14 times. I ain't got no more sense.
That's hard. I was just talking about that the other day, and I was trying to rehearse it honestly, and I looked it up because it was this one audition I looked up with the boy that played E.T. And I looked up his audition, and literally he just started crying out of nowhere, and I'm like, yo, how is he doing this? And so I go into the bathroom, I put Vicks under my eyes, and I start crying. And I'm like, see, I'm doing it now, I'm doing it. And it's like, yo, it's hard to actually make yourself cry. Like, if you don't think about nothing, even if you do think about something,
it's gonna take too long.
Yeah, and it's like,
it's building up, you trying to hold it.
It's hard, man. It's a hard, honestly, it's a hard job. It's really a hard job. And like I said, I'm just kind of getting started with it. So honestly, it's so much that I have to learn. It's so much that I've learned so far that I kind of keep with me. And then just a matter of, like you said, using it to your advantage and being authentic with it.
So you talked about Good Morning America. Do you work for them?
Yeah.
So explain that a little bit.
So that was like a 6-month process. Because you're working for one of the biggest brands, because they're with Disney. So you're working for one of the biggest brands that's out there.
Disney owns everything.
Disney owns a lot. Disney owns a lot. And then if I tell you how much they made from Disney Plus, you're like, oh my god. Disney almost own Twitter, but they pulled out real quick because they thought it wasn't gonna work. So, but I mean, you see how Twitter is now. So, but no, yeah, I work for Good Morning America. I'm the one that I help book the celebrities onto the show, and that's kind of where I get my connects as well. So I network as well through there. But that was a 6-month process, and that was when I didn't work for about 4 or 5 months. I was staying home. I was miserable. I was staying home.
But that's a sacrifice. If you really want it.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I was staying home, depressed, just laying down, just thinking like, is this what really life has to offer? Honestly. always tell people like, yo, you gonna go work? You gonna go work? I'm like, nah, I got Good Morning America coming up. And it was like, other people, even my parents were looking at me like, you could do that, but you still should work at the same time because this is not working, honestly. You know, you have no income coming in, this and that. And that's also when I kind of wanted to get into acting as well through there. But yeah, with them, I book the celebrities. I bring them upstairs when they get there, and you know, just a matter of making sure that the room or whatever their dressing room is up to par. But yeah, it was a long process. It's strategic. It really is, honestly.
Yeah, they gotta be sure, make sure I'm coming in there.
Yeah. Cause it's it's a lot that goes on, honestly, like behind scenes. If I show you behind the scenes, honestly, it's a lot that goes on. Control room, you know, or like breaking news, you know, they gotta update the script to put in the breaking news. You know, the president's gonna have a speech at 12 o'clock. They gotta put that into the show. You know, there's so much stuff that gets taken out so that other stuff can go in, you know what I mean? Like just this past week when Prince Harry and all them, they announced what they were doing. You know, they took so much out of one segment of the show to put in that, you know, just that one little portion of it. But it's so much that surrounds that, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's crazy.
That sounds like the perfect job for you and what you aspire to do. Because you get to meet those people, and it's up to you now. How are you going to interact with them? Are you just going to walk and y'all just walk and no communication? Or are you going to, you know?
Hi, my name is.
Have a little introduction.
That's how it is. With Martin Lawrence, I kind of got the feel for Martin Lawrence when he came in, because I went downstairs and got him from the elevator. And he was really down to earth, honestly. He introduced him like as if I didn't know who he was. He was like, my name Martin Lawrence. He was like, nice to meet you. I told him my name and everything. And then that's when Will came in. And honestly, when you see what goes on outside of the building, all these people waiting for Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, and just like people in general, like Tyler Perry, all these people waiting for them. And it's like flash and, you know, hey, sign this. And it's like, yo, this is what they go through. That was just one portion of it. That's what they go through on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And that's the conversation I have a lot. It's like, yo, a year from now or 2 years from now, it's like you can't even go to the mall. You can't even go out to eat. You can't even drive your car without having to worry about somebody running up to you saying, oh, can I get this? Can I get that? And it's like you got people that will bombard you and like just trample you because, you know, it's like they just want to meet you, you know, and that'll make their day or their life, you know what I mean?
And with that, like, fans sometimes forget that they're still human. You're not part of a circus. Like, you want to live that everyday life, but obviously you probably can't because you're that big. But I just think fans need to think about how they react to celebrities, how they interact with them, because you can't just run up to somebody because you don't know what their intentions are. Like, you got to protect yourself as well. I know they probably have bodyguards and security, but as fans, like, they got to remember that, because just think about like LeBron James. He probably can't go anywhere.
Nowhere.
Honestly,
nowhere. If you see his car that he takes to like practices and games and everything, literally half of the car is shut off. So you can't even see inside the car. You can't see from the sides of the car and none of that. This man has half the car shut off so that, you know, you can't see no parts of the car. But I feel like that's really a reason why I kind of excel in that part of it, like as far as acting goes, or as far as even just seeing celebrities in general, because I always knew they the same person as me. They put their pants on the same way I put my pants on. You know what I mean?
They human.
You know what I mean?
I think people don't take that into effect. Like their bank account maybe.
Yeah, they bank account up there.
Different tax bracket.
That don't mean they're not human.
Right.
I figure at some point they're gonna have to figure it out with the paparazzi and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, these people can't even go into their homes and like your whole job can't just be taking pictures of celebrities all day, every day, and someone's gonna get hurt. So I feel like at some point they gotta figure that out.
That's kind of why you don't see like people as like Jay-Z and Beyonce as often, because you already know the type of, you know, crowd they bring. You know, as far as paparazzi go, as far as this and that go, you know, that's why you don't see them as often. But you know, Kanye West, he's been crazy with the paparazzi. I mean, not recently, but like
when
he was really crazy. Like he was really
before he got
crazy.
saved.
Yeah, Jesus is king.
When he was really crazy, but he's still crazy.
Yeah, he's still crazy now, but he just being
he
channeling it. You know what I mean? So you got. It's the paparazzi is crazy. I mean, they risk their life as trying to get one picture for TMZ or trying to get one picture for a newspaper. They risk their life, and
the bag can't be that good.
Yeah, it's really honestly. When I looked at a YouTube video the other day, they said they only make like $250 a picture. So like if they get for TMZ, they get one picture. TMZ will give them like $250 for that one picture. And that's their day. They made their money for the day.
They just ruined somebody's life.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Pictures of my old baby.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But I mean, I'm kind of trying to prepare myself for that. It is hectic to think about that. Like this is what my life will be like.
I probably feel good to walk in a Walmart and be like, excuse me.
That's what I like. I think
but
about
I
that all
know
the
it's
time.
more to that.
Yeah, it is.
I be thinking of the part where it's like it's gonna be cool people coming to see it. I ain't thinking of somebody trying to hit you.
Yeah, of course. Trying to get something for oh, I got this. I got his hat. I got a sock. It's like
I'm thinking about it in a way like
then you react and they suing you.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's crazy.
You gotta bring it back to perspective.
But I mean, you gotta think about it though. You think about it. You say like I could walk into a store now. Imagine walking into a store in the 49 other states that you gotta go into. It's crazy, man. Like it really is. It's crazy. Like cause you tour so many times. I mean, yeah, in the beginning it's like, okay, I like it. I like the attention. You got people following you on Instagram.
You just probably started popping, but like 5 years in, you probably like, bro,
it's like, I'm tired. I just want to go. I just want to eat. You know what I mean?
I got Annie's from Walmart and come right back.
It's crazy. It is crazy. But I mean,
car,
and I don't think you could really mentally. I don't think you could prepare yourself for that. It's hard because it really is.
Way more than what you think.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Just a couple fans.
And then plus the premieres, you got red carpets. You like you said, you got people that run up to you just because, and then it's like, yo, like this person, like you know what I mean. And then like Will Smith when he had somebody kiss him on the cheek, at a red carpet, and he slapped the crap out of him. He was like, yo, my man, what you doing, man? And then it's like you got crazy people out there. Honestly.
I ran up on a celebrity before.
You were
in my AAU days. It was Lisa Leslie, Dawn Staley, a couple of WNBA players. They was going in their hotel. We young, and it's like 30 of us, and we run. And I held that against her to this day. I'm like, why wouldn't she want to sign? But it's like 40 little kids running up. She probably was scared. I didn't think about that when I was younger. But now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh snap, she was scared.
That's it. It's like, scary, wow. Man. It is really scary.
Now I put it in perspective. I thought she was playing.
So what shows do you watch when you have time to watch? Like,
and do you critique when you watching them? Like, all right, if I was doing that, I would.
I look at Fresh Prince. Everybody Hates Chris. I love the Bernie Mac show. Yeah, I love the Bernie Mac show.
Underrated. So funny.
He's a funny guy. He really is a funny guy.
And he was just himself on that show.
He was. So and it's just like, yo, like, it made it seem, like, with those family shows, it made it seem like you were a part of the family. Like, it just made it seem like that. Like, you got good times. You got, it's like you made it made it seem, you could take life lessons from those shows. It may seem like it's a funny show, but you could take life lessons.
Correct.
But yeah.
As you get older, I'm sorry for cutting you off.
You're good.
When you get older, you realize what's actually going on. We was young when we was watching those shows, so we just laughing for real. But as you get older and you watch the reruns, it's like, dang, they were saying that. They told me that.
Yeah.
They was giving me this lesson. But I'm sorry for that.
Nah, you good. Nah, it's good times. Fresh Prince, Bernie Mac show. What else do I watch? I don't watch TV as often. I'm more of a Hulu type of person. Netflix and I watch Hulu more than Netflix. Netflix never got nothing on there. You'll be scrolling for 2 hours of trying to find something on Netflix. But
I be watching murder documentaries.
Yeah, like First 48 and everything. You know what I mean?
I'm a detective.
Gotcha. That's what I wanted to be. Believe it or not, ever since 5, I wanted to be an FBI agent.
You probably won't get that role.
Series. I hope so.
Maybe y'all heard it here first.
Nah, I mean, I've always wanted to be an FBI agent, but yeah, like going back to the shows, that's really all I watch. And like you said, being able to take life lessons from that show, you know, my parents always, I remember, man, it was when I was younger. My dad sat me down a whole weekend and had me watch Roots. And it was, he had me watch Roots one day, and then the next day we went to Boys in the Hood. And I feel like every black man at least sat down once with their dad and watched Boys in the Hood at least once. And it was like, you better not end up like Doughboy, you better not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely some life lessons in that movie that people can take now.
Yeah,
2020.
honestly. I mean, especially, honestly, if I could say everybody, like not everybody, but like, you know, majority of Trenton down and watch that movie and show them like, yo, this is real.
And that's stupid.
You know what I mean? Like, and then you dying for, you know, like something that you're not even, you know.
I died for this hood.
You know what I mean?
Do you own in this
honestly,
hood?
and then now you got people that, you know, you're born. And it's like you're born into this, you're born into that, and then it's like you born to hate this group, you're born to hate that group, and then like your dad teaches you to, you know, I don't want you to mess with that group because I got beef with this group. Exactly. It's like, yo, like honestly, like what's the purpose?
Who's
like
gonna kill the cycle? Like,
you know what I mean? And that's you gotta have at least one person out of that group and say, you know, like let's stop this. Honestly, like it's hard because it's too deep into it now to be like, you know, let's stop.
Yeah,
because
it's the music.
You know what I mean?
Like,
it's so much that go on right now. Yeah, and then it's like, you know, who, like I said, who's gonna be the one to rise above all and be like, you know,
it's only gonna take one big artist.
It is, honestly.
Shift the culture.
But that's sad to say that. It's sad to say that it gotta take a celebrity or artist to stop what's going on in today's lifetime. Like,
it's crazy.
It is, because if you think of, like you said, going back, that celebrity or artist is human.
Yeah.
So he was what we were, but now, like you said, his bank account more. He got this, he got that.
That same person before the celebrity, he could have said the same thing, but now that he's a celebrity,
I gotta listen to him now. You know what I mean? And
what makes him a celebrity have
honestly,
his thoughts have more traction than it did.
It's sad, but it's sad to say that. It really is sad to say that, and you know.
Or could take a leader in your community as well, but it's just really hard for these kids to decipher this music because it's just so pop and it's so.
It all sounds the same to me. Everything sounds the same to me.
I'm listening to the range. I be like, is this? Oh, that ain't.
Like people. I mean, don't get me wrong. He a nice artist like Pop Smoke. Everybody like Pop Smoke, but honestly, to me, all his songs sound the same. All his songs sound the same.
Sounds similar.
All his songs sound the same. But I mean, you know, you just.
He's got in trouble for stuff. He rented a Lamborghini off somebody and then stole it.
Nah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Sorry to that man. Nah, you know, it is sad though. It really is sad to say that, you know, this world is, you know, solely controlled off of social media, celebrities. You know, if you got a lot of females that, okay, well, just because, like lashes, now it's like, it's crazy because you got people, it's wild. This world wild, man. This world is wild.
It is crazy.
It's so much
lashes,
pressure.
You know, the weaves and whatnot.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Nah, so many pages out
because
there.
the thing is, you watch
about the weaves, you know about the lashes, ladies. So y'all heard it here first. These men know y'all got the lace front wigs on. They know y'all got lashes. They got.
It's great because I mean, it's not even because you could just tell. You look at somebody and their lashes is hanging off their face. You know what I mean? Like
then they don't go to the right person.
Got crazy. They sideways.
I'm sorry.
I gotta go ham on this.
My bad.
Nah, but I mean, you feel me?
Did you see how much fun we had before social media when we was young? Like these kids is like 13 with like Facebook pages and all that.
And that's why a lot of relationships fail now too. Also, you know, you got a lot of people they social media
live and die by it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I gotta see what this person doing. I gotta see this person's story. I gotta see.
Them.
You know what I mean?
It's like they going on vacations.
I gotta do this. I gotta be yourself. Like I said, it's cheaper to be yourself. Honestly, staying
going in debt
lane
because you competing with somebody that don't even know you competing with. Like, that don't make sense.
Yeah, I just post a regular picture and somebody be like, "Oh, she got nice sneakers. Don't compete. Don't compete with me.
Yep.
I'm broke.
Honestly,
people going in debt trying to be somebody.
Right. Honestly,
right.
You know,
and you can finance anything. I know y'all know I be trying to pay my bills. I look at sneakers. I'm just gonna be transparent. I be looking at sneakers. I don't buy them, but you can finance sneakers. You can finance Rolex watches. You can finance anything.
It's crazy, and then
you
people
gotta
end up people end up broke trying to finance all this stuff that they really don't got the money for.
Look good for the grand.
I gotta have these new Jordan. Jordan come out with the same shoes every year. Honestly, put a different name on it, same style, same colorway.
I haven't Jordan since when the Breads came out the first time, 2012, right? That was the last time.
That's the line for those.
My dad bought them.
That's another story.
Nah, I mean it's really crazy though. Like honestly, you know, you got so many people that's trying to be something that they not, and you know it's.
If you really want to be something, you're not get into acting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly. Cause look, growing up, I always wanted to be this. I had like 2 pairs of sneakers in school, in middle school. It was the pair that my parents bought me in the beginning of the year. And they bought me for gym, and that was the only pair of shoes that I had all year. And I looked at
the dog sneakers. These kids nowadays, I will give them some. I'll get my little cousin. She do be. No, actually, no, she don't.
Yeah.
She got mad sneakers. She like a sneakerhead. No job. I'm like, yo, y'all got it.
It's crazy.
I had my first job at 14.
Yep.
Working at a little nursing home. Thought I was getting money too.
Got people's parents buying them Gucci headbands and Gucci clothes. Parents going got no money because you know it's crazy, man.
You buying your kid Gucci, they ain't got a college fund. Sorry to them.
It's crazy.
It don't even make sense to me. I don't want to go too long on this, but you buying kids all these designer clothes. They about to grow out of that in like a month or two.
Yeah.
You spent whatever it is. I don't know because I don't look at it. But you know, I go to Primark. They sponsor.
That's where I shop too. I shop there too. Primark, and H&M. That's all I
need
shop.
all the deals. Nike outlet. I need everything 30% off.
Yep. I go right into the back wall. Go to the 10.5 section.
Exit 30% off the sale already.
I'm trying to make deals. I'm like, oh, this ain't in there. I put it in there. This was here.
I thought that was on clearance. It's not on clearance. You can take that back.
But no, before we let you go, anything else you want the people to know? What you have upcoming? And you can give your social media accounts where they can find you, all that good stuff.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at CLM, CL Larry as in Larry, M as in Mary, .jr. You know, as far as coming up, I got a couple projects coming up. You know, as far as working with Tyler Perry, on this show coming up called Assisted Living.
I did see that on his Instagram. Okay.
So I'll be seeing if I can get the role for that. And then you know, just as matter.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna speak it in.
Of course, for sure.
When y'all see him on the screen.
For sure. Yeah, I mean that's for sure. Right here. This where we talked about it. And then you know, just a matter of trying to get into more movies. You know, trying to get into more TV shows. And then hopefully from the experience with Tyler Perry, hopefully that branches out into something big. And then just like I said, remember where I came from. You know, just this right here is foundation. You know what I mean? Just giving back to the community. And trying to help as many people as possible. I ain't gonna be stubborn. I ain't gonna hold no secrets. I ain't gonna do none of that. Just trying to give everybody jewels. And then go from there.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Chris, for chatting it up with us and telling a little bit about your story. Make sure y'all check him out, follow him on Instagram, and look out for him on them screens. This is episode 40. I'm your host, Reggie Coleman.
I'm your co-host,
Till next week. Peace.
Yeah. I'm a creative, so let me create. Nothing's promised, so I'm away.